asked for a commutation hearing. Just a hearing, mind you. They didn't ask for a pardon. They didn't ask that she be freed. They asked that she be given a hearing so she could put together a case to be able to go before a parole board. Now, her husband, Greg Smart, was murdered 31 years ago. She's been in prison, 32 years ago. She's been in prison for 31 years. Okay. The two people who actually committed the murder, okay, Billy Flynn and Patrick Randall, were paroled in 2015. They've been free for close to a decade. The other two who participated in it were freed several years before that. They've been free for over a decade. Cecilia Pierce, who knew the murder was going to take place and searched for a weapon to be used in the murder, was never charged with anything. She got off scot-free, not one day in jail. And Pamela Smart has no chance of even going before a parole board. This is barbaric. Now, the fact is that the supporters of Pamela Smart put together the best possible case they could. They had a lot of people testifying to her behavior in prison, okay, and how she has helped other women, counseled them, tutored them. And she's also been, one thing that struck out at me was that there was a mentally challenged woman. They called her, I think, Chiquita or Chicky was her nickname. Her name was Chiquita and her nickname was Chicky. And she was in her 50s. And sometimes she would soil herself. She would actually defecate on herself. Pam would go running to her, would help her out, take her into a shower, clean her up, and clean up her messes, her defecation messes, clean her up when she had her monthly cycles. She was still cycling at the time. And she would even hand wash her soiled undergarments. Now, does that sound to you like the ice princess, the femme fatale, who goes running to try to help somebody who is, that badly off? They had letters from Joyce Maynard, a letter from Joyce Maynard, who wrote the book To Die For. And although she created a psychopathic character in To Die For, that character is not Pamela Smart. She has been clear about that. And she believes Pamela Smart should have a second chance. They got everybody who works with her, everybody who's corresponded with her, believes that this woman is entitled to a second chance. Okay? And they had the petition was about the size of a telephone book, a big fat telephone book, a door stopper, because they had a lot of information, a lot of argument that it is, not consistent with modern precepts of justice for somebody, unless they're the worst of the worst and completely sociopathic, to have a life without the possibility of parole. They put together a great case, and they've just about convinced everybody except the people who have the power to grant a commutation hearing. She lost. It was it was like 6-0. Nobody voted in favor of commutation hearing. And I think that's largely because of political cowardice. They're afraid that, it'll be used against them if they run for office again, that they were either soft on crime or that they helped out the ice princess. Okay? And so I really do think that was just a terrible decision and made purely for political reasons. Okay? And, I just think what is happening to Pamela Smart is barbaric, especially considering how the others have been treated. Now you're going to say, well, she hasn't admitted she did it. Okay. Now, is that really important? Do we need to get inside her head, you know, and say that she actually planned this murder? I don't think that should be the make it or break it, because it presumes a perfect justice system, which we don't have and will never have because human beings are imperfect. Now, why does she not admit it? There are three possible reasons. One is she doesn't want to cause more pain to her mother and father and other relatives who love her and would be disillusioned and dismayed if she did admit that she was the murderer. Okay. Another possibility is that maybe she just is stubborn, and maybe this is one thing she just can't allow herself to say. And another possibility is that she's innocent, and an innocent person can't. It's very difficult to say that you are guilty of something when you're not. I don't know what the case is. At this point, I support her being allowed to go before a parole board, regardless of whether she's guilty or not. Society has had its pint of blood. It's had its pound of flesh. It is time to show mercy to her, just like it has shown mercy to the people who actually murdered Greg Smart. I hope you